Part 3, driving. Question number 1. What benefits does public transport bring to the world? Well, according to my knowledge, public transport brings a lot of benefits to the world. The biggest and the most significant benefits that it brings to the world is that it's reduce um, the amount of carbon dioxide and other chemical uh, and other chemical things into the air. That means it helps reduce the air pollution. Why does this help like that? Because the more people use public transport, the more private transport, the less private transport are bought. And that's mean not every single people have their own private transport types of transportation, and if they just use one type of public transportation instead of using their public transportation, the dioxide reduction would reduce a lot tremendously. Also, public transport helps people to, like, I don't know, but according to my own experience, I think that public transport helps people to connect with each other. Like they have to sit in one. We can take the bus as an example. So if people go by bus, they will sit in one cabin, and that is when people have the chance to connect and talk with each other. Also, we can also see some very kind actions, like when the kids give their seats to adults, to the elderly and the pregnant. So yeah, I think that public transport brings a lot of benefits to people and to the world. Question number 2, is it too late for people to get their driver's license at the age of 18? Well, no, actually, I believe that the age of 18 is the most suitable age for people to get their driving license. No, just only driving license. Because, I believe that that is the time when people are mature enough, they can take responsibilities for their own action. And that is the time when they can, afford their own job, find themselves a job, and try to afford a car too. It is not too late, but I think it's a really suitable age actually. And I guess that I'm planning to, when I finish my classes, I mean like my high school, I would just go and take a driving license test so that I can just be on my own. I can do everything and I can have self autonomy. So yeah, I believe that the age of 18 is the most suitable age for people to get their driving license. Question number 3, what quality does a driver need to have? Well, according to my knowledge, a driver needs to have many things. Like um, uh, as far as I remember, recently I have read an article about a driving license test in England, and people there not just have to learn the uh, um, theory, they will have to do the work in action, and they would have to participate in an oral test. What is an oral test here? An oral test here is that when they have to remember every single route in England, like in a specific area, and when the interviewer, the one who asked them about the route, they would have to answer immediately. Like not quite immediately, but they have to answer the best route so that they can just make sure that you are able to be a good driver, taxi driver. A good driver, yeah. And also, they have to remember all the rules. I mean, they have to learn all the rules, every single one actually. Um, so also, I think that a driver needs to have some experience. Like, of course, I know that when we participate in the driving license test, we have to do some, in action test, but we need to like experience the real situation and the real road so that we can just try and know how to cope with all kinds of problem. Question number 4. Do you think the government should make it a rule for people who use public transport? No, I don't think so. Although I know that using public transport is like really beneficial for the world and to the people. However, I believe that the citizens need to have the choice to choose whether they should go using public transportation or private transportation. Here are some reasons why. The first thing is that people need to have their autonomy. They have self-reliance and I believe that they know what is best for them. Also, they have to consider whether the public transport or the private transport is suitable for them. Like if a family is going on a sightseeing trip, it would be nicer for them to go by car instead of their going by bus or boat or coach. And also, it would make it difficult to explore every single places, every single corner in a city if we use, like buses, trains, or something like that. We have to have our own vehicles, specifically the bike and the motorbikes. So that are some private vehicles instead, and it's not public transport. Also, I believe that using public transport somehow, like it's inconvenient. You have to wait for people in the line, you have to pay money. So why not invest a whole amount of money into buying a thing that you can use like for your lifetime? Yeah. And I don't think it is ought the government is ought to make the rule for their citizens to use public transport. However, they should open some campaign or crusade so that they can like introduce about the benefits of using transport to everyone so that everybody in the country can deeply understand about what they are trying to say so that they can put public transport into their considerations. Question number 5. Which jobs require people to be good at driving? Of course, driving. Yeah, people need to be good at driving to become a driver. All kinds of driver actually. Ambulance driver. Well, if we talk about ambulance driver, we have to say that ambulance driver are really good. Like they have to save people in a short amount of time, so they have to understand every single route, even for the shortcut one, and so that they can afford to attend and arrive on time, so that they can save the people who are in danger. Also, we can talk about taxi drivers. Taxi drivers are really incredibly good. Of course, they still have to remember all the routes, but they are not the first priority. So, they are not the first priority vehicle on the road. So, although they have to remember all the routes, sometimes taxi drivers are just depend too much on AI and on the internet. So it's not really good. Let me think of another jobs that require people to like be good at driving. Well, I think that is all. Like if we have driving in in specific, I think that the driver need to be good at driving so that they can just be a really successful driver. Question number 6. Do you see driverless cars as the futures of cars? Well, yes, I do. I consider so for a long time. I think that by 2025, we will have driving driverless car flying and roaming around the road. Why? Because due to the advance of technology nowadays, nothing is impossible. Nowadays, we have created AI, artificial intelligence that helps us to answer every single thing, and we also have, you know, driverless plane that are being inexperienced and flying cars too. So why not think of a future of driverless car roaming on the road? Yeah, although I believe that it is really, really beneficial for people, because I think that if we try another type of transportation, we will have another sources, energy sources that can just replace fuel and other thing, oil something. Yeah, and it will be totally beneficial for us, but that is when people don't really need to, get driving license. And I think it would also be good for people too. So that's what I want to say. Thank you for your listening.